Hey guys, if you're taking care of a disabled child, an aging parent, a spouse, or another loved one, you may be wondering, can I actually get paid for doing this? And the answer is sometimes yes, but it depends on where you live, who you're caring for, and what program they qualify for. In this video, I'm going to break this down in a simple way. We're going to talk about the main programs most families should check first, another options for family caring for a veteran, and the exact kinds of questions you should ask so you don't waste your time calling the wrong office and getting nowhere. Now, guys, I do want to say this up front. Not every state works the same way, and not every caregiver will qualify. And when people say you can get paid as a family caregiver, they usually do not mean there is just some general check waiting for every family caregiver. Usually, what that means is that the person receiving care may qualify for a program that allows them to receive services at home, and in some cases, choose who provides that care. And sometimes, depending on the program and the state, that can be a family member. So, the biggest phrase I want you to remember in this video, guys, is self directed care. You may also hear it called consumer directed care. That's one of the biggest things you want to ask about. For most families, the first place to check is Medicaid. If the person you care for is on Medicaid or might qualify for Medicaid, this is where I would start. Medicaid has self directed service options in some situations, and that means the person receiving care may be able to have more control over who helps them at home. So instead of just having an outside agency decide everything, there may be programs where the person receiving care or someone helping them can have a say in who gets hired. Now, guys, I want to be very careful here because I never want to overpromise. This does not mean every state pays every family member. It does not mean every spouse, every parent, or every adult child can automatically get paid. And it does not mean every Medicaid recipient will qualify. But this is still one of the biggest doors families should be checking. Now, guys, if you're trying to figure this out for your family, here are the phrases I would use when you call. Ask if the person you care for qualifies for self directed services, consumer directed personal care, home and community based services, waiver programs, or personal care attendance services. Those are the kinds of terms that can get you much closer to the right answer. Because if you simply call and say, "Can I get paid to take care of my mom?" the person on the phone may just say no, or they may not understand what you are really asking. So instead, I would say something like this: does this person qualify for any self directed personal care, attendant care, waiver, or home and community based services that would allow a family caregiver to be hired? This question is much more specific and it usually gets you farther. If I were starting at zero today, here are the calls I would make first. First, I would call the state Medicaid office or the Medicaid managed care plan if the person already has one. Second, if I'm caring for an older adult, I would call the local area agency on aging. And third, if I'm caring for a disabled child or disabled adult, I would also look for a local disability resource center, a case manager, or a center for independent living. Now, there's another major path I want to talk about, and that is for families caring for a veteran. If the person you care for is a veteran, please do not skip this part. The VA has a program called the Program of Comprehensive Assistance for Family Caregivers. And for eligible veterans, the primary family caregiver may receive a monthly stipend. I want to say something important here, guys, because I never want to make this sound easier than it is. Sometimes, after all the calls and all the research, a family may find that there is not a program in their situation that directly pays them wages as a caregiver. And I know that is hard to hear. But even in those situations, that does not always mean there is no help. There are programs that may help with respite care, counseling, training, support groups, and access to local services. So, for instance, the National Family Caregiver Support Program, it mainly supports caregivers through services like information, counseling, training, respite, and help accessing services rather than direct wages. So, guys, let me give you a simple action plan you can use today. First, write down the name of the person you care for, what insurance they have, and what kind of help they need every single day. Second, call Medicaid or the health plan they have and ask specifically about self directed care, waiver programs, and whether a family caregiver can be hired. Third, if the person you care for is a veteran, check the VA Caregiver Support Program. Fourth, contact your local area agency on aging, Disability Resource Center, or Center for Independent Living and ask what caregiver supports exist in your area. And fifth, keep notes. Write down who you spoke with, the date, and what they told you. Now, guys, if this video helped clear things up for you, let me know down in the comments what state you're in. And remember, just because someone told you no once does not always mean the answer is really no. Sometimes it means you have not reached the right program yet.